Good morning, everybody. And, one thing I want to tell you about myself is that I have been engaged in peace and conflict resolution for the last 8 years. And it has significantly changed my life and the life of the people around me. And today, I bring to you the what and why of conflict. Have you wondered what is so strange about conflict that makes nice, good, intelligent people around us behave weirdly? Why do people suddenly change? Our relatives, our friends. And when there is a conflict, they change. They do not behave the way they should. Is it because we are different? The answer is probably yes. We come from different economic backgrounds, different value systems, different cultures, different religions. So, we are different. Now, this difference leads to disagreements. This disagreement causes a problem. The problem escalates into a dispute. And when this dispute moves into public space, we have a conflict. And this conflict may or may not lead to violence. Now, I'm not talking of violence as in people are fighting. I'm talking of violence as in a structural violence, wherein there is an element of discomfort in where we are. To address this violence, I counter it with peace. With peace, the violence disappears. There is a resolution of the conflict. The dispute gets addressed. The problem is resolved. And the disagreement is disappearing from the table, but what remains is the differences. Please note, conflict resolution is not about removing our differences. Conflict resolution is, we are different, let us address we are different, let us accept we are different. But in spite of our differences, we have to live together. Now, is this easier said than done? There's a scarcity of resources. There is limited amount of time, money, space. There is rivalry. There's only one person who can come first. There is only one job available. And naturally, we're going to be faced with these conflicts. Personal, conflicts that are interpersonal. Am I in a conflict right now? I am. I've been told to stay in this red dot. I tend to like to move around, but the conflict, this interpersonal conflict between these, I need to stay within this red dot. So sometimes we do not even know we are in a conflict. Are any of you conflicted right now? Are you all very comfortable? Are you happy sitting where you're sitting? Are you happy sitting next to the person you're sitting? Maybe these are issues we can look at in terms of conflict that is not in the global context. Look at. What do people do in a conflict? So let us say I'm in this big disagreement, and in this big disagreement, I go and find somebody who's at fault. Then I tell the other people why he's at fault. Then I try to tell the people, why am I justified? I try to vindicate myself. I try to win friends, and people who agree with me, even if they are not my friends, become my friends. I want to tell the whole world, I am the victim. I have been wronged. And when I'm doing this, I am able to gather people around me, and I form my own groups. Religion is a big source of conflict. And religion can pretty much come to you in three phases in life, in birth, death, and marriage. So, when you were born, I don't suppose you knew much about your religion. I can see a lot of young people here. But now that as you're growing older, there'll be people in your families who will maybe passing on. And religion will come to the fore in those rituals. You will get married, and you cannot ignore religion in marriage. Now, as we grow older, we get connected with our religion. As we grow older, we get closer to our religion. And the closer we get to our religion, the further away and the lesser tolerant we become of other people's religions. And that creates a source of conflict. You must realize that when you argue long enough, you forget what you're arguing about. You know, the procedure takes over the substance. You heard the story about those 7 monkeys in a room? These 7 monkeys in a room, and you drop this set of bananas on top. And one of the monkeys reaches up to grab the bananas, and the moment he pulls the bananas, there is this cold jet spray all around. And all the monkeys freeze. So the monkeys know if they touch the bananas, they are going to freeze. Now, these are 7 monkeys of group A. Now, I remove one monkey of group A, and I introduce a monkey of group B. Now, this monkey has never been hit with cold jet spray. He gets into the room, he tries to reach the bananas. The remaining monkeys get together, grab him, pull him down, and beat him up before he's touched the bananas, because they don't want to feel the cold jet spray. But the other monkeys have had the experience of this cold spray. Now I take out another monkey A and introduce monkey B2. And this monkey B2 sees the bananas, and as he grabs out for the bananas, all the monkeys get together, pull him down and beat him, including monkey B1. See, monkey B1 has no idea why he's beating him. He's never been exposed to the cold jet spray. But I'm a part of the conflict. Let me just go ahead and beat him. And this is what happens in several international conflicts as well. I mean, whether it's Kashmir or Palestine, you will find that people have lost the focus of why the conflict is in existence. We create stereotypes. So, you know, I do this workshop at places and ask people that if I say the word Englishman, what do you think? And some of them say, Englishmen drink tea. Others say, no, they drink beer. Some say Englishmen are prim and proper. The others will say, no, Englishmen have a stiff upper lip. They are snobbish. Which Englishmen are we talking about? There are over 50 million of them. But we have created a stereotype. Our stereotype is an oversimplified generalization of a group of persons who we have little knowledge about. We create prejudice, which is a negative, hostile feeling about persons or a group of persons without a sufficient cause. The types of prejudice we have, and if you look there, you can see some of them are fairly obvious and some of them are very subtle. Lookism. Now, to all the men here, if you get into a little car clash with some young, pretty lady, will you be fighting your guts out? And if the same person happens to be a shabbily dressed driver, how would you behave? So, our prejudice obliges us to enter a conflict in a completely different perspective. And you have ableism and ageism, which is very common amongst the older people. The young people are incompetent. Amongst the young people, the older people are really not capable of understanding their generation. Now, there are ways of resolving a conflict, and probably the easiest way of resolving a conflict when I'm having with another person is shoot him. Bang, no person, no conflict. However, we realize that that is not the best way to go about it, because we have to live with those people in society. I enter into a conflict with a taxi driver and I don't have to see him again, so I can just take out all my guns and go firing away. If I am going to have a conflict with my teacher at college, I need to resolve it in a peaceful manner. Now, you know, peace means different things to different people. You know, peace is contentious. So, I had this friend of mine who was working in Bosnia, and in Bosnia there are these two villages that were firing guns at each other all day long. And the women, and this is a very good example how women have been involved in peace building and conflict resolution. The women got together and said to the women on the other side, said, look, can you stop the rocket shelling for 1 hour? Just stop it for 1 hour so we can go out, collect water, wash our clothes, look after the children. And the women of the other side said, okay, we will tell our men not to do shelling for 1 hour. That 1 hour became 2, 3, 4, 5, and ultimately they were shelling each other for 1 hour. Now, is that peace? In the context, the answer is probably yes. If I look at peace even more differently, and I could tell you this incident about my another friend who was working in Papua New Guinea. And Papua New Guinea is this place on the other side of the equator, for those of you who are not aware. And the population is approximately 1/200 that of India. The number of languages spoken in India is 1,600. The number of languages spoken in Papua New Guinea is 800, with a population of only 7 million. Now, there are conflicts there, and if one tribe was to take water from another tribe's area, the two would fight, and they would naturally kill and eat the body. So my friend working there after several years in the late 1990s said that after several years of working, all we could convince them to do was not eat the body, but kill they must. So you see, peace is contextual. I mean, are we at peace right now? Maybe yes, maybe no. There could be different kind of violences playing a role here. The do's and don'ts of conflict resolution or resolving a conflict. First, express yourself. Talk to the other person. Convey your feelings. Do you think you're vulnerable? Do you think you appear vulnerable? Vulnerable is sexy. No? You will get the other person to talk to you. The other person is not a mind reader. He has to hear you. Second, listen. Listening is an important part of conversation. Listen, acknowledge. Say, yes, I heard you. I acknowledge your pain. And when you're listening, look for people who agree with you. More importantly, look for opposition. I enter a board meeting and I say, this is my proposal, and 10 people raise their hands and say, yay, that's wonderful. But the 3 who did not raise their hand are the people who I will be in conflict with. Although they didn't disagree with me, they are the opposition. Address that issue. So once you feel that you have expressed your need is met by the other side, you are in a comfortable zone, you can solve the conflict. If your need is not met, let's see how we could take the conflict forward. And there are young people here, and let me take an example of any one of you and father. Right, so father says, I'm allowing you to go out, but you have to be back by 12 o'clock, midnight. And you're saying, dude, you know, we go out at 11. So how's this really going to work? The father says, you need to be back home by 12. When I was young, I was home by 12. Saying, but how, you know, what's that got to do with my life? Say, Dad, this is my life. Father says, this is my house. So we got an issue. The issue is, what is the problem? The position, my solution to the problem, I will go out, come what may. Father says, if you go out, stay out. Adopted positions. If I want to solve this, let me ask, why is my father saying such a thing? What is his interest? Is his interest my safety? Can I tell my father, my interest is to have a good time? Can these two interests coexist? Can I have a good time and still be safe? The answer is probably yes. Can I tell my father, let's create options? So can I tell you that I will not take the car maybe? Maybe I'll call you every half an hour and say, hello Dad, checking in, I'm alive. Do you want the telephone numbers of the n number of friends I'm with? Would you like to know where I am? I mean, even except for taking your father with where you're going, you know, you can offer these kind of options. Is it possible that these options could satisfy the people's needs? What do we land up doing? We take a position. The position is, this is what I am going to do. Never ever do that. Leave a door open. Leave a door open for the person you're in conflict with to enter. Leave a door open for you to exit. If you can't leave a door open, leave a window open. Do not take a position from which your ego gets bashed if you step down. Now, do people get angry? Yes. Yeah. Do you get angry when people get angry? Yes. Should you get angry when people get angry? No. Obviously. Because if people get angry, they don't know what else to do. That's why they get angry. Anger is a natural reaction. And if they get angry and you get angry, can you ever resolve a conflict? The answer is no. Okay? Be creative. Be flexible. And when I say be creative, if I go to a priest and tell him, can I smoke while I pray? And he will say, no, definitely not. But if you ask him, can I pray while I smoke? And he'll tell you, yes, son, that's a good idea. You should do that. So it all depends on how you present the matter, how you create the listening atmosphere. Be flexible, be creative. Humanize the other person. The other person is a human being with certain needs, certain desires, certain morals, certain principles. If you objectivize him and you say he's an object, it's easy to hate him. It's very difficult to bring him on the conflict resolution table. Do not label a person as incompetent, selfish, untrustworthy. When you label a person, you're addressing his personality and not the issue. The issue has to be addressed, the interests have to be discovered, the position need not be taken, and options have to be explored. Never operate with power. See, power is very easy. Father says, this is what I'm going to do. And can he resolve the issue with power? You probably will have to obey. But power doesn't resolve the conflict in the long term. Okay? In case, you speak to the Israelis, between the Israelis and the Palestinians, naturally, anybody will tell you the Israelis are more powerful. And about 3 weeks back, I met this Palestinian lady, and I said, the Israelis are more powerful than you. And she said, no, we are more powerful. We have fought for 60 years, we will fight for another 60 more. So there's a cost of keeping a population in subjugation. There's a cost of there's a cost to the father of keeping a teenage son or daughter in subjugation. Apply standards when resolving conflicts. And I'll tell you, when an imperfect peace is always better than a perfect war. Can I absolutely resolve conflicts? Answer is no. Can I resolve conflicts and live peacefully for the rest of my life? Answer is no. Conflicts are like a sand dune. The moment I cross one, there's a next one. So I got to learn the talent of resolving conflicts. So I would like to conclude here by telling you is that we teach lesser by what we say, we teach less by what we do, but we teach the best by who we are. Address the issue yourself, build up a psyche of peace. And once you build up a psyche of peace, you will change your thinking. If you change your thinking, you will change your emotion. If you change your emotion, you will change your words. And if you change your words, you will change your action. Thank you.